Hello everyone, welcome to my discussion and review, so a preview of what anime to watch in the coming season of 2017 spring season. And there are a couple of really good animes. This anime, of course, the right of me, the first anime here is probably the most expected, most anticipated anime ever, pretty much in history of mankind, which is of course Attack on Titan Season 2, Shinigun Kojin. And yeah, everyone's waiting for 4 years, right? So it's probably going to be a lot of viewers in the beginning. So I don't have to say too much, but I will say one thing though, or I will say a few things here. But one thing I would say is that I'm not a big fan with the mangas right now. I think the manga is going in a horrible direction for the last, like, let's say 20 chapters. Especially the last chapter was horrible. And so I'm not a big fan of things like this. Like my fandom of that has lowered every year pretty much. So it's going the Bleach route, which is really bad, but it's going out in a route which is like it's getting worse and worse, and the story is worse and worse. However, though, this is a big however, is that the manga in the beginning of manga is pretty bad. If that's me, it's like 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It's not like good manga in the beginning, but the anime made the manga much better. They had to change the order of stuff. They said some more details, some fights. They actually did a lot of stuff that usually I would be like, oh my god, no, but actually they made it much better. Like the anime, the order of the event with Eren getting power and so on, it's much better in the anime than in the manga. So I'm thinking that generally this anime is probably better than the manga was. And this anime is covering slightly far to go, but it should cover mainly the good stuff. It should cover mainly good stuff like the Beast Titan. It's gonna cover the good shit before the manga becomes worse and worse. Like, I think the manga becomes worse actually from this place, but but yeah, like it probably won't get into like but that was a really bad shit. So season 3 of the Titans should be bad. If you ask me in the anime, it should probably be bad. It's a storyline that is not good in the manga. So I'm not spoiling per se, but I mean that's a big spoiler obviously. But in my opinion, though, some people are loving it, but I'm like, no, I don't like it. So in my opinion, but I think the manga is the anime is making it better though. So this anime might be really good because they might make it better. But also, I would say that I think people are actually going to be disappointed. But maybe not this season though. Like, I think that half the season is going to be really fantastic, and the second half might be bad. But it depends, because I mean the last anime, when I rewatched the anime and compared to reading the manga, I'm like, wow, the manga is so bad here, but the anime is much better. So that's actually things I didn't like when I read the manga here. I was expecting them to make them fix that thing. It's interesting if they could fix the shit that was the issues they had. If they can fix the issues they had, that could be fantastic. So it has potential to be really good. But it's gonna be fun to see if people are hating it or not, because there are definitely some issues. Listening like the 10 episodes, so it's gonna be some issues people might have with it. But anyway, here probably because my biggest favorite, because I'm a huge fan, right? And there's Boku no Hero, of course, Academia, Season 2. I'm a huge fan of Boku no Hero. You know, I do some live reaction to it. I review it every week in the manga. It's just one of my all-time favorite mangas ever. After One Piece, this is my second favorite. I love Boku no Hero. The anime actually was going to be the last year, because I have from friends talking to me about, oh, you should read Boku no Hero, it's really good. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's see about that. But then the anime came last year, I was like, oh my god, and I was like, I was tearing up. It's episode 4 and so on. So it's a fantastic anime right last season, and so I'm looking forward to this a lot. And I read the manga now as the anime though, so I know what's going to happen. And it's going to be mainly, so let's spoil it here, but it's going to be mainly about a tournament arc. It's going to be a lot of fighting. It's going to be, you know, a lot of that stuff, like Deku with Bakugo, all the characters fighting, to the Rocky. It's going to be a lot of fights. And that's going to be great for an anime, right? It's going to be a lot of action pack. I don't know how far the anime will go, but yeah, this is very exciting. And because of this, it's going to be a lot of new characters as well. You're going to see this guy, one of my favorite characters. He's a very good story, great backstory and so on. I think very interesting character. But I don't say what, but it's a very interesting character, and definitely look forward to that in the anime. Probably gonna expand a little on the characters, backstories and so on, right? Flashbacks usually longer animes, so that can be very good. Because obviously they're gonna fight new people, right? So they're gonna be showing some other heroes, showing some other students, more classes, and so on. So yeah, it's a lot of new characters. We also have like Hashimoto, yeah, very good characters. This is probably my number one. My number one recommendation for next season, absolutely, for Spring Season 2017 is Boku no Hero Academia Season 2. Given that you've seen Season 1, of course. Given that you've seen Season 1, you should watch it. But if you haven't seen season 1, what are you doing? Go and watch season 1 first today, and then you go watch it. It's gonna be great. Very, very, very for this, and it's coming out in 3 days now, so I'm very excited about that. But then we have something I'm actually also very excited about. That is Sword Oratoria. It's something I'm actually very excited about, because so this is about Ice Valentine, right? And this is some paper. Yeah, this is actually a spin-off / follow, storyline on yowamushi. Of course, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, right? This is a great anime. I love this anime. I love the anime. As you can see here, this is her. That's probably Luke in the lap behind there. Some other character in their team lap, because she's in the Luke's teammate. So you might get squash from them. With Heista here and Beckham, right? And then of course here we see her in it was this last episode of yowamushi, right? Because this is of course the main character for yowamushi. He is in love with Ice, right? So that's where we recognize her from. And she's so I think this could be a really good. It's hard to say though, because obviously that anime is based on following the main character, which is like a loser main character that can't fight, and he's like level 1, and he's a saver. But she's very like cold and super good, so it's interesting. But yeah, it sounds. I'm absolutely for this very, very much. I think this is a very anticipated anime as well. Like she's the strongest female, right? As you see her side, it's gonna be very interesting. Absolutely. There is a Skype message, whatever. God damn it, Skype. Damn it. Okay, let's go on here. Then we have this thing. I haven't checked out that much. I checked out the trailer and so on of Clockwork Planet. It looked real bad to me. It didn't look bad, good to me at all. Like we've seen the red 3 here in the beginning. They all look very promising, but this is like, yeah, this I checked out the anime. It's about some people, living in I don't know, some machine world. It didn't look good to me at all. It's kind of annoying. Let's go on. Of course, we have Little Academia, which is obviously my favorite anime right now, and it's generally a really good anime, right? I'm really watching it. So yeah, this is a great anime. It's gonna be great the next season, this continuation on. This is unfortunately that I got Stripe or Tour. I'm talking about it, but yeah. So this is it's a great anime. It's gonna be great this as well. Then we get to this anime. It's called Zero Kara Hashimoto Maho no Sho. And this is one of those fantasy magic animes. There's a lot of those coming right now. So if you can see here, for example, that this is one of the main characters, and she has a kind of magic ability. This is very popular right now, and we can see this season there. There can be a lot of these animes that are a lot about magic and like people born with powers, so on. And I'm actually tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm like, it's too much of this fantasy world. It's kind of Earth, but not really Earth, and we have these powers. And yes, I like Boku no Hero, but Boku no Hero is different. Like shonen, there's a lot of this like slash comedy. You living in some fantasy world. I think it's a lot of that. I think it's too much to be honest. Adventure fantasy shonen. Yeah, I think it's a lot of these things. I think they're getting kind of tired of that. Honestly, if you ask me, this one sounds like one of the better ones. So it might be good. Like someone, it's highly rated here. It's like a little better, but it's kind of like that. So I don't know. It might be good. I'm kind of happy if you watch that anime or not. And it's going to be more of this kind of animes. And then I'm like, oh my god. So this anime then is something I checked out. This is the anime where the guy was trying to make a girlfriend, right? I wasn't sure horror. Actually, I think so, yeah. Trying to make a girl game. Season 2 though. Season 1 wasn't that good, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. Skip this anime, probably. And here again, this is one of those weird kind of incest-based romance mangas where it's like about some guy that does hentai, pretty much, right? And he's with his sister or something, and I don't know. It doesn't look very good. I looked at the trailer. I looked at the basic of it. To me, it seemed like a mangaka assistance, which about the guy doing like ecchi manga. It was really good. That anime is really great actually. The mangaka assistance. That anime is great. This looks similar to it, but with incest instead, pretty much, but worse humor. So I'm like, this is probably not a good anime. I haven't read the manga. I just read the first chapters before I did this, and it doesn't look very good. So I'm just saying, probably not a good anime. Might be good, but I don't think it's going to be good. So then we have this anime, which when I first read this here on this live version here, right? I read this thing here, and I was like, oh yeah, like fighting in a school, and you're like, yeah, it's like, you know, we fight private archers go, yeah, they go into kind of school where girls are all weapons. No, they don't have weapons because there used to be, you know, only female school, and then they started having like, oh, we have the boys. Well, then the girls asked to have weapons. You can read here, and out of fear of the boys, and then now they have some kind of weaponized school classroom, like prison school or something. Yeah, so that alone is a prison school feel to it, right? And it's like, yeah, so they're gonna kill boys, and then it says in the end here that it's like, oh yeah, so you know, blah blah blah, and then it's like the main character is coming to this school after being a brawl, and then he learns he has to be forced to dress as a girl, act like a girl, right, in this school, and that sounds good. It sounds like it's a kind of cross-dressing trap comedy, romance, probably gonna hit with some of the girls, but he's just like a woman. But it isn't. What I can see, it is not that at all. This anime, it sounds good on paper when you read the thing here, when you read the synopsis of it. But then you look at it, look at the manga. You look at this manga of this anime, and it's actually like just fighting. It's pure battle. It's just to be him fighting like 4 or 5 attractive teenage girls, trying to force him to be a woman pretty much, and he's like beating them up with his martial arts skills or something. This is what it was to be, right? Instead of actually being like a comedy where it's like prison school, but also feminizing you or something. But that could be good. This just sounds like a pretty bad action comedy thing. So I'm not recommending this. I'm gonna watch it, but what I've seen so far, and I just read it quickly the first chapter of manga, so this is purely action. I looked at the images, yeah, so it doesn't look very good to me at all. Actually, this Bosho Shoujo Mashiro, it sounds better in theory than I think it is. So I'm not recommending it. And then here again we have another one of these, as I just mentioned, with the anime up here, like Zero. Yeah, so I had this one and Zero Kara, and then this one is like another anime about magic in Magic World or something. You know, it's like, yeah, they have magic in school. They're hoping to tune their magic, and they're like, yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's not bad. This looks like a worse. If you go up again, just very quickly here, right? Okay, maybe it's a bit up here, but yeah. Like this Zero Kara, as I mentioned, it's another adventure fantasy magic shonen, and then we got this thing, which is another, you know, fantasy shonen magic thing, but in school instead. So this is like, it sounds like a worse version of Zero Kara, and I checked them out both. So this is probably gonna be a pretty bad anime if you ask me. So this is, I'm not gonna watch this anime. Definitely not. And then we have this anime, which is like, this is like Death Note with magic. So this is like some kind of, you know, Cupid kind of power. There's a kind of succubus that you can like make people fall in love with each other or have to kiss each other. This might be good. Reinai Boku might be good. I'm gonna give it a chance, and we'll see what it takes me. I'm gonna probably do like a review of it, like watch 3 episodes and then review it if she watches it or not. And it might be good. So I don't know. It probably isn't that good. But it's a little more mature. It could be fun. Hard to say. So I'm kind of like half and half on this anime, Reinai Boku. But yeah, it's more promising than Ramon's anime. And then we have some really weird, whatever, second season of... no, this is season. This is Sakura Reset. This is... oh yeah, this is another one! Yeah, this is another one. Oh, sorry, this is another one. Sakura Receipt is another anime about people that live in a village that have some kind of magical powers and blah 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 blah. Like we have seen this last year. This is another anime. It was like people have some powers, a little more mystery in this one, but like I don't think this is a bad anime. I'm gonna watch it like one episode, but this seems bad, to be honest. Not recommending this. And then we have this anime, which is a really confusing name because it's basically exactly the same name, right? As 7 Deadly Sins, but have Sin before it. It's like Sin, 7 Deadly Sins, Sin. So it's like, okay. So, but this, however, though, is purely ecchi, right? So when we have, you know, so it's like a shonen fighting kind of series, right? This is that is, well, yeah, they have succubus with big boobs and a lot of clothing. Yeah, like less clothing, titties, and asses. This is like some random, you know, yeah, 7 deadly sins. So they have 1 sin per each, like greed, lust, and so on. Obviously, lust is some kind of pervert woman, and so on, right? So yeah, so this anime is probably watchable purely from ecchi standpoint, and it might be hilarious. I'm gonna give it a chance, of course. But this is probably like, you know, use borderline hentai kind of anime which you always have at least one of. And what I've seen, I watched the trailer, it's not like Kedjo. Kedjo is like fun, right? Kedjo is like ecchi and also very funny. This just seems kind of like it is pure, soft hentai. So I don't know. It seems to be pretty bad, to be honest, but it could be hilarious. But probably isn't. It's probably just like, yeah, you could watch hentai instead of watching it. The name I hate though, because it's the exact same name as 7 Deadly Sins, but they have put scene in front of it. So it's like Death 7 Deadly Sins instead of 7 Deadly Sins, it's Death 7 Deadly Sins. So just one word for it. There should be copyright infringement. He should sue them, the guy that's doing 7 Deadly Sins. It's a very confusing name. And yeah, it's like these beautiful lords lead humans to 7. Yeah, obviously it's like 7 perverted demons, right? Yeah, woo. Not a very intriguing storyline, but it could be good. And then we have Boruto. Which of course people are gonna be super excited about. People are gonna do live reaction about this and so on. People are like, oh yeah, this is a new Naruto. This probably will suck. This probably will be bad. The problem is that I have read the Boruto. I've seen the movies. I'm not a big Naruto fan. I mean, I watched Naruto for all the years since I was like 10 or something, and I watched all the movies and everything. And I watched the Boruto movie, and they did a manga about the movie with Boruto, and there was the same storyline as the movie had, and Hinata was not hot at all for us for some reason. That actually, I mean, not joking, but this is weird. Like when you watch the movie, Hinata looks, still have huge titties and everything, and it's like, yeah, Hinata is super sex bomb because that's the only thing she ever really gives Naruto. But then you read the Boruto movie, the manga based on the movie, and she's like really ugly, kind of ugly almost. Like she's like flat and her face kind of weird. And this is so weird. It's noticeable weird because everything else looks kind of the same in the manga, but just the main character's mother then looks much more fugly in the manga for whatever reason. But usually it's the reverse side because they have less censorship in the manga, and it is really weird. That's what I'm thinking when I have to Boruto. No, but like the manga is follow the movie, and I think in this anime it's also gonna follow the movie, the manga, and the manga is following the movie. So if you watch this anime, you're just watching Boruto the movie again, which is actually a pretty decent movie, but it's like, okay, so the first 10 episodes are gonna be the same thing again. I don't know, like feeling out. That's why I'm very scared about this anime to begin with. If it's just the movie again, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be a pan-out paced, slower paced movie version, like an anime version of the movie, kind of like Dragon Ball Super was in the beginning. That's what I'm thinking of doing here. I haven't seen anything to say I'm wrong. So that's a very scary part of that. But if you go continue on the new storyline afterwards, that could be really good. So this is this is hard to say if this is gonna be a good anime or not. If they are having time to hopefully you skip the whole movie part. They probably won't. And then this is of course what to say here. It's like Boruto, and he's like his shit. The movie is a pretty good part there, but so this is very harsh to say. And obviously though, the whole issue with the whole Boruto thing, as the movie well so on, is that Naruto and everyone else are like gods, like Naruto Sasuke, and they are like super bad here, and it's kind of weird. Like I just wish it could end Naruto when they ended it in chapter 700, right? And it had to be like, I hate chapter 700 plus because it's like, oh, look at this, here's all the kids for everyone, please give me money. That's how Naruto ends, right? It's like it shows everyone. Hopefully Oda, when it ends One Piece in like 10 years from now, it's gonna be like the end, and not be like, and here's this son, and this son, this is the daughter of this character. And be like, please give me money so I can do some anime on my kids here. So my family's gonna be rich for that. Like, yeah, oh god. That's the problem with Boruto as well, of course. Most of the characters are just kids of our beloved characters. Like, oh, this is Sasuke's son or daughter, and this is Shikamaru's son, and so on. And they have very similar personalities, and so on. So it's kind of like a remix. I don't know. It just feels so lazy. But yeah, this is gonna be really bad. I think if they are just following the movie, it's gonna be really bad. If they are following the movie, it might be okay. It's hard to say though. But yeah, not a big fan of this thing, to be honest. Probably watch it when it's like 10 episodes. And this is a continuation of seeing the Bahamut, and that anime was really bad. If you ask me, it was really bad first. So this is gonna be a horrible anime. Don't watch the anime. If you don't like the but yeah, this is. Then we have Grand Blue Fantasy, which is a lot of hentai on. So this I have to watch because there's a lot of hentai also on this anime. No, but this is an anime based on a game for iOS and Android, so it's like a mobile role-playing game. It's almost like fantasy versions like Nobody Yumatsu and so on. So it seems to be a pretty popular, JRPG for phones, right? I haven't ever played it, but there's a lot of like fan art and Doshini and so on that. And this could be really good. Like sometimes these animes are good. They're based on it, and it's a lot of like attractive females and so on, right? Very typical like medieval high fantasy kind of thing. It might be really good. I'm giving a chance at least. Watch like 3-4 episodes. It might be good, but I can't promise anything. I haven't played the game as well, so it might be good. Then we have this thing. This is yet another one. Like people have powers and blah blah blah. It's like, oh god damn it. So this anime is about, it's called Nana Shimazuka. It's a long name here. Ishiguchi Desuka Sukete Murate Li Desuka. And this is an anime about every humans are dead, and the rest of them are living on some kind of flying sky islands. And these girls are here on the image here. They're all like leprechauns or something like that, but they're pretty big leprechauns anyway. And they have some magic powers. And then they have one human that they're fine. All humans are dead since some years ago, but one human survived, and he's like unfrozen or whatever. And now he's gonna train them or fight with them, or I don't know. So, another kind of weird fantasy world where for whatever reason all humans die, but the people with power survive the living. This anime, I looked at it, it looked really bad. This anime looked really bad. Probably won't even watch maybe one episode and see if it's good or not. No, yeah, it looks bad. It looks really bad. I'm not recommending it, absolutely not. And I mean, most of the stuff has been pretty good now in the beginning. So now we are on like lesser animes here, right? Like less popular animes here, and yeah. So our creator is about the people can like say humans have created many stories, blah blah blah, and they'll be able to write, say the story with intention, so they can like lift out the characters out of the story. People are gonna fight with each other with like, I'm writing a story about a mecha, okay, fight with me. So this seems somewhat interesting. This is one of those I'm thinking like this might, I like 4-10, 40% is gonna be good. So I'm gonna watch for one episode of RE creators and see if it's good or not. It probably isn't that good. I'm kind of like, yeah, it can be okay. Hard to say. And then we have yet another supernatural. There's a lot of supernatural animes. So this is Alice to Soroku, I guess pronounced that. And so this is a group of young girls possessing mysterious power known as Alice Dreams. Which can be turned to, yeah. So this is actually very similar to the creator, because they have their dreams here becomes reality. And in the last anime, their like stories becomes reality. So they write a story about some warrior, that warrior becomes real, and they can fight for them. And instead they can like dream and create warriors or whatever, or magic or monsters, so on. So as I said earlier, this supernatural magic thing is very popular right now, and I'm very tired of it even before it started. This one seems pretty bad. It seems to be worse than the previous one, or the creators. So yeah, this is probably a bit bad anime as well. Probably all bad. And then we have this anime. Oh god, I don't know about this anime. This anime about. Oh yeah. Sorry, no, remember. Gin no Guardian. It's an anime about yet another anime about someone that turns into game world. Right? This is about an anime. This is similar to like No Game No Life. What's more anime that? But yeah, but basically, Boku. Like this is an anime about a character, a person. Gin, I guess his name is. It was like Rico Lay probably. So I said that, yeah, but like, no, it's Sugin is the main character. Yeah. This is the character that is the best in the world. Like, he's the best player in this game. He's the best player of this game, right? And then someone gives him like a magical way to enter virtual reality and save people's life for someone in virtual space. And he's the best player ever to do it. So this is yet another one of those like No Game No Life and Boku and so on, right? Someone is the best player in the world, and they get forced into being this like you have to play in this game world now, and you have to use your Uber esports skills to win, right? And this looks bad. This looks bad. This looks really bad, honestly. Like it looks worse. This is probably what I can skip right away. This looks pretty much worse than most stuff. Like it looks just plainly worse than like No Game No Life and so on. It looks like a worse version of that. So this is probably the worst But I've seen so far, this is probably the anime I have the least believing it's gonna work out. Because it's like, we have seen it before many times, and this just seems even worse. Especially the trash, it look worse than the previous one that I've been. So yeah, not a good one. Then we have yet another sci-fi humans, and yeah, I read about this thing. I have no idea what it is. This is yet another like weird political. Yeah, no, this is a weird political thing. It's like suddenly everyone is in this space thing, and I can put this right away because it's like suddenly everyone is in this weird space political thing. Some alien comes to them. Suddenly appears. This just sounds. It's like one episode try and maybe like 3 episode try. But yeah, this sounds bad. This is probably skipping actually. But yeah, it's like this is like. And this is the 6th season, right? Where this no, so curious here. Oh yeah, this is actually I have no idea actually. I just have no idea about this. Skigak Kirai. This is like no, I have no idea. This is like some random slice of life Roman school. I have no idea. At all actually. So yeah, this is going better. This, however, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna watch this thing, and I'm pressing to watch it because it's like probably an anime a lot of people are gonna be watching. But I think it's pretty cool. So it's about the Dead Sakura, I guess. And if you for this anime, if I love Naruto Sakura, it's about 5 girls that's starting working in tourism in some town, and they're gonna try to like make the town work the tourism. It sounds like a good sort of life anime. So if you like sort of life anime, this is probably a good anime. It's hard to say though. I mean, this could be really bad, but I think it's gonna be a pretty good sort of life anime. So I'm recommending this. Let's give it a try. I might be wrong, but I think it's one of those. And also because this season has so little sort of life anime. It's too much like, because this last anime here, for example, I have it's my mother, but this is like romance school. It's part slice of life, but it still has a kind of agenda, like you have to get this girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and so on. And the rest of school elements up there are like weird magic thing happening. This is the anime which seems to be just an actual slice of life. It's a comedy in working with tourism. So this sounds like it's kind of a relaxed anime you can watch. So definitely recommend this Sakura. And this is a really very, very common trope here. Very common trope. Sugomomo here. This is very, very common. So basically the main character, Kazuya Kagami, he has his most special treasure, right? Some kind of whatever, it can be a freaking pearl, whatever. And it's a girl! Yeah. Yes. it's a girl, right? It's a girl, yeah. And it turns out that this precious thing he has is actually some kind of artificial hot girl that wants to protect him or something. And yeah, I mean this storyline is like old as earth. This is like the oldest storyline ever, right? It's like suddenly I have a girlfriend from space, or mutant from other dimension or something. This is like, yeah, we have seen this storyline over and over again. And of course it's etchy, of course it's comedy, and it's actually quite etchy. I checked out this artist, actually very almost hentai, very, very much borderline hentai. So it's probably going like a Girls Bravo route or something like that, much more horror matchy level of it. So it might be good, But I think that I've probably seen this anime if it's like 20 times before, right? This sounds horrible in a way, because it's like we have seen it for so many times. This is so unoriginal. But if you like the anime, that kind of genre, you might like it, right? So I'm very like, I don't know what it's anime. It might be things that like Niseko, for example. Niseko, I love Niseko, but it's super unoriginal. It's like Love Hina or this, but they do everything. Niseko does everything better, kind of like it's like a rare product for video games where it takes Super Mario and it's make it better on every part, right? So on. So it feels like this could be that. I don't think it is, but it could be that. It could be that it's taking everything that we, that we like with this genre and makes it better. But yeah, it also might be completely wrong. I mean, this is a chance. So I'm gonna watch it and give it a chance, but it just feels like probably not a good one. And then we have this thing. This is a freaking abomination of the world, right? This is a horrible thing. This is just like, oh, cry, oh my god. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad. Like it's really this is the worst anime of this season. I don't care. Later on, when it comes to the show, this is gonna be the worst anime season. This is the freaking Berserk second season, third season actually, and it's so bad. It is so fucking ugly. I mean, seriously, this anime, the first season, was one of the worst things that ever has graced this planet of animation. Right? It's so ugly. CGI effects, and it's so irritating because Berserk is a manga where Kunemura is drawing like once every half year, but he draws freaking 1 page per month pretty much, right? It's the most detailed manga ever, and it's giving the most ugliest anime ever. So I mean, the combination of having the most beautiful art ever and most like gruesome and horrible art in a sense, combined with like the most ugliest animation ever, is the worst combo in imagination. It's like, I hate Berserk Season 1. I hate it. Everyone hates it. Everyone is insane hates it. I mean, the problem is people are like, oh, but the storyline is so good. Yeah, read the fucking manga instead. The manga has great storyline, better pacing, less censure. Like, I watched freaking horse rape scene, they removed the rape. I was like, this isn't Berserk. Berserk should be all about bestiality. That was like, Berserk is about really, really sick storyline. If you go back to like the first season, the actual first season, that one looked like kind of ugly, late 90s animation, but it fit Berserk. But even them, they still censor stuff like they censor the dog soldiers that eat. There's a scene in the first in the manga then, when he's a teenager, when they save Griffith and like they shit about these kind of apostle demons, right? And they rape some females while they're riding horses, and then they eat them while raping them, and then they're throwing their heads against guts while like they're still raping their lower body. It's really, really sickening, right? That is Berserk. In the anime, they used to move that. It's like, no, we can't have that on TV. That is so fucking sick, right? And when you look at that was the first season, the pre-season before the CGI effects. And then we have the last season then of Berserk, the first CGI season. That's even more censored, right? It's even more censored. They removed a lot of the scenes, a lot of the characters, all the sick stuff, right? So you're missing out on like half what is Berserk. It's half horror, extreme, weird, half of that is removed, right? And this is going to be set again. This is going to be absolute crap. If you watch it, you're insane. This is going to be, the same damn absolute skipping this anime. It's going to be the exact same shit again, right? Where you have the worst animation ever, instead of having the best, especially the best manga ever in drawing. And just censoring stuff, removing stuff. Absolutely, I'm saddened that this anime. I mean, if you stopped using the damn CGI effect and like they actually went much more detailed, and it's just horrible. And it's so sad too, because you really want to watch Berserk. You want to like Berserk. You want to watch it, but you can't for this anime. It's so bad. And then we have some other, shoujo, like some kind of singers, some bands like Fuka this season. There's some promise of being the best or something of singing. It's just, I don't know, it looks kind of mediocre. I'm probably skipping this thing, but I'm gonna press skip. But yeah, it's pretty mediocre. I mean, when I press skip up here, that means I really hate this anime, like Berserk, and I absolutely want to watch it. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm not watching Berserk, that's for sure, right? This is probably, maybe we'll watch when I have some time over. This is another one of those, it's like very hard to tell if it's good or not. It's about some guys gonna teach some princess. It's just, I don't know, this is very, very iffy. This is probably skip, but yeah, it's just not very good. Oitsukushin Hayane. Obviously now, this is 6th season of Natsume Books of Friends. See, I'm skipping this because I never watched one of the other ones. I tried to get a little, yeah, it just, so it's like, I don't know, it's, I never liked, it never interested me in the beginning, so yeah, you can probably skip this thing, but I don't know, if you watch the other ones, it might be good, right? So, yeah. Then we have this thing, which is absolutely considering this thing. I'm probably watch one episode of this. And this is like, this is very USA, like female, adult female audience. It's a lot of sex in it. It's about a woman reunites with her, like, first love from a class reunion. He's a priest from temple, and he's not in celibacy, obviously, and they're gonna fuck and so on. Yeah, it's like, I watched a trailer of this. This is very like, this is very USA. It's very like censored sex scenes and so on, right? Yeah, this is targeted for, you know, horny 30-year-old females, right? This is like, you know, yeah, middle-aged horny women. This is the anime for them. So this might be really good. It's hard to say. Sometimes the Yosei anime, for me, there's too much sex in it, to be honest. It's not like too much sex. No, but I think so, because sometimes the Yosei, they go too much into like being too much, you know, almost porny hentai version of it instead of having something else storyline. And then I would rather just watch hentai because it's like a censored hentai instead of just being hentai, you know. Sometimes you will say, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's very good, but sometimes there's like too much sex in it. And this one to me seemed to have too much sex in it, honestly. Like it's just too much of a yeah, but it's more about the sex than actual storyline. So it's kind of like, yeah, but we'll see. I will give it a chance though. This anime has already started actually. Hinako Note is episode 2 actually. It's coming out. I think say here somewhere. Yeah, episode 2 there. It's about a girl that animals are drawn to, and the explanation here makes no sense. It's like a scarecrow by getting animals. I don't know. I read some of the signals people watching it. It seemed to be, I think it's pretty good. It's probably like a very calm, very safe anime to watch. It's probably somewhat funny, somewhat not very exciting. So I'm actually probably gonna say skip this anime, actually, because the first episode wasn't that good. I didn't even get through it. I was like, yeah, okay, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like Monster Girls for me right now. It's called Into Monster Girls. I mean, I love Monster Girls animes, like Monster Musume and so on, and I don't like that anime. Like, I think it's okay, because it's like, yeah, okay, it's the humor is fun. It's not like, it's never really fun, and it's never really exciting. It's like, yeah, okay, I can watch it, but I'm not getting like, wow, this is good. And this anime, the first episode was the same thing. Hinako Note, not recommending it, because it's like, you laugh somewhat, but you don't really care, right? Some of those anime you can have going in the background where you make fool something and you're like, whatever. You know, listen to the jokes and like, yeah. So no, not recommend this one, it's not that good. Then I have this thing, I couldn't find much about it, it's a second season of things, so I won't talk about it. Then this thing, however, I am definitely watching. Actually, it's very low down here, but it's very interesting. I couldn't find much good image of it though, so I found like a better review of this thing. Yeah, it's like a horror anime. One of those like with several different horror, without probably like one weekly horror episode without having actually, you know, any connection with each other. But this could be really good. So Japanese horror is very good. Japanese horror in general, I mean, like live action is very good, and I'm a big fan of like Uniityu, you know, so on. And yeah, this could be very good. I'm definitely watching it, giving it a chance. I can't say if it's good or not because it's like it's probably like a weekly based scare story, right? But you know, some Japanese horror are very, very sickening and very weird. So this definitely is something to look out for. Sekka no Yami Sukan. This could be really good. But I have to watch the episode to see if it works or not. But I'm excited about this thing. I actually am. Definitely. Then we have this thing that I'm also actually watching, even though it's very, even though it's like, it's very, this anime, Kenkai, Ranch Otome Girl, Beat Boys, it's very, very classic. It's like Power Girl, well, Girl Power, whatever it's called now in English. It's called Power here, so alright. So it's about a very classic thing. See the pink-haired man here. It's actually a female that has to go to a full male school and trying to be the boss of these males, right? Pretty much by beating them up in different kind of like tournaments or whatever, right? And it's a very classic storyline. In that's a very classic trope with like either a man or a woman going to opposite of like full boys school, but one girl there trying to be tougher, more bad than the boys. It's a very tomboyish storyline in a sense, but it could be really good. So I'm definitely giving it a chance, even though, as I said with the other thing, this is very, it's not very innovative. It's based on a game though, on top of a game. So it might be good. Obviously, a bit of romance. Obviously, it's a bit like falling in love with some of the males, right, and trying to not show that she's in love with them. But actually, I really like Girl Power, it's called in English. It's called Power, which is about a girl going to basketball school only for males. And then she's falling in love with the other players and so on, right? Trying to be the best best player and so on. Trying to hide her, yeah, and then girls after her. So that's a very good. I love the manga. And this one, when I read about this Kenkai Bansho Otome, this sounds very similar to me to Girl Got Game. It's calling that Girl Got Game. Yeah, it's calling it Girl Got Game. That one is freaking awesome, the manga. I love it, manga. I hope it will be an anime ever, but it never been an anime, but yeah, I thought so, yeah. This one sounds similar, so I'm watching it definitely, give it a few episodes. It might be good. Then this is another weird mecha anime, Frame Arm Girl. It sounds really bad, I'm gonna talk about it. Actually, just skip on this, it sounds horrible. I don't think you need a chance. Oh yeah, this thing is weird. It's about a guy going to school, and he's doing like kabuki, you know, this performance art, and it's like, oh yeah, we should do a kabuki art school or something. I don't know, it's just, maybe it's good. This is skipping, this is horrible. Kyoku no Rin, this is a bad anime, I didn't watch it, I don't care about it. And this is some kind of Astro Boy's world, before Astro Boy existed. So if you like Astro Boy, you might watch it. I probably won't. I'm not a big fan of Astro Boy. Actually, I like Astro Boy, skipping it. And this is, of course, what I'm actually probably one of the most forward to. I'm doing live action of this every week. Right? I love Yowamushi Pedal New Generation. I love it. I'm happy just having, you know, more than just a half season. Okay, what can I say? I mean, I love this anime. It's one of my favorite animes ever in my life. Actually, I say the first is better than this, but yeah. Yeah, the first season is better than the second, however, though. So I mean it in general, so it's not this season actually. But this is a really, really good anime. I mean, I watched it yesterday, did a live reaction, did a review of it. Very, very good anime. Definitely keep watching it. It's a great sports shonen anime. It just has really, really good characters, lovable soundtracks. You know, everything is good with it. Except Mr. Yoshi, he's too annoying sometimes, too even sometimes. But generally, of course, we gotta keep watching this anime, and I recommend people that haven't started watching it, start watching it. You know, get up to speed. It's a very, very good anime. This is very low rated here, actually. So it's not very popular, it seems. But yeah, it's a great anime. And this, I just couldn't get it all. Seems to be yet another like badly animated sibling anime. Skipping this one. It's called Annie no Sukurukusuri no Wa. You know, it's like violent girl strikes her older brother, and you know, sibling love, and it's like, no, this sounds horrible. This sounds horrible. Never, don't watch this anime. This is something else that I couldn't find much about. It's second season or something, and I couldn't even find anything about it, so I don't know, no idea. This is something I couldn't find anything about either, for that matter. Roommate, and obviously the name is horrible, because if you Google roommate, you're gonna find like, oh, I wanna live with someone. So this, you can't Google this shit. I have no idea what it's about. It looks very like either Yosei or Seinen, like an adult. I have no idea, so skipping it. And this is another one, which is like, I have mecha and so on. I looked at the trailer of this thing called Idea. It looks horrible, honestly. I looked at the trailer, I read about it. It's about a girl living in some future, they have mechas. She is good at something, she gets stuck in this super crew member team. It looks really bad, honestly. The animation was bad as well, yeah. Notice that this is horrible as well. This is called Love Kome, We Love Rise. This is like, I looked at this trailer and so on. I'm a big fan of Sogi no Soma. This looks like a really, really bad version of Sogi no Soma. This is like bad Soma, right? So this I have zero interest in at all. And I like cooking. I watch MasterChef. I watch Hell's Kitchen. Everything with Ramsay. But I mean, I watch a lot of like food, Top Chef and so on as well. And of course, Soma. And this looks like horrible. Like, I like food. So, but yeah, but this is horrible. And then we have, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively. I'm not gonna watch it because I'm like 3 years after something. But actually, I wanna be... Can't put that in them. One day in my life, I might watch this. When I have watched other Yu-Gi-Oh! Animes that I missed out. But yeah, this one has horrible animation. Horrible animation. This is one of those like... we feel that they did it in Flash, right? And it's kind of this weird comedy, you know, and I say comedy, and I don't recommend it. Salesman, yeah, this is horrible. Vario Salesman knew it was horrible. This is one of those weird, like, magic girls, I don't know, you know, it's like, if you're into those things, I guess it's good. This is another idol, kind of, you know, similar to the I saw here. Very low rated here. Yeah, we're at the bottom now, so this is like super low rated stuff. Same with this thing, Nobunaga Shonen. Then we have some kids shows like Duel Masters, Beyblade, you know, I watched Beyblade when it's new, some other idol spin-off. Yeah, nothing interesting, yeah, smaller and kid stuff, yeah. This pretty much concludes the anime season of this, of spring here. Everything here is just like, you know, shitty kids, right? So I look at that, and what I can say, of course, is that What we should be watching is of course Attack on Titans, which might be horrible, but I think it's gonna be good. I think season 3 is gonna be horrible. If they ever have that, they're probably horrible. Boku no Hero is probably the best thing coming by far. Definitely recommend that one. And oratoria, yeah. I mean, I didn't press watching him before, but I was like, this is the obvious ones, right? These three here are they are in the top beginning here, and they're obviously and they're like obviously the best one. Mia, it's yeah, obviously very very good. This one here actually, as mentioned earlier, so you kind of give a chance, but I feel in the same time when you look at this, is definitely oh my god, what is sibling anime? This one is I'm gonna consider this one. Because it's like, if it's going into more of a feminization kind of thing, more interesting. This one sounds like a bad Zero Cow, I'm skipping it. This one also considering, of course, as mentioned earlier, this could be good. This I have no idea about. But this is like, yeah. And this one, obviously, we're watching this one because of boobs and asses. But yeah, so that this season seems, for me, we have like 3 major things we're gonna watch for sure. Then we have 2 continuation animes. And the rest aren't actually that good. Like the rest aren't not a great season this year. For spring, it's like 3 obvious ones. Okay, I have to watch Boruto, I guess. But yeah, like Boruto might be good, probably isn't. And even if it's good, you can ruin the Naruto world building, right? It's kind of how it's, yeah, watching Grand Bloom because I like the Professor one. This sounds horrible, so skip it to shit. But yeah, this one's on us. Normal magic. This one's like a word person. That it's too much weird magic stuff. So actually, I mean, if I go over this, there's a few animes. This one I'm gonna say, yeah, there are a few animes I would recommend, right? So I only have pretty much those 3, the main 3 ones, and then like Sakura Quest here and so on that I would recommend to try out. And yeah, this one we consider because it's very like hentai-ish harem series. But oh god, Berserk is horrible. So yeah, unfortunately not a very good season, I think. Not a very good season, it's just kind of stuck on these things, right? So yeah, watch Attack on Titans, watch Boku no Hero. They're all stories too. The worst thing with this is that there's very few anime here that I feel are new to, because my top 3 here are all follow-up season 2 or something. And then we have 2 that are already ongoing, those season, follow seasons. So yeah, nothing new that exciting, fortunately. But yeah, that's my recommendations. That's my pre-watching the trailers, watching the first episode. My kind of first ideas about anime coming in the spring. So yeah, be sure to check it out. The one I recommended, the other ones you can check if you want to, I guess. And see you guys next time. Have a great day.